There's a resolution written, somebody wrote to honor Bryce Sims. And I personally did not know the man, he was before my time, but in reading what I read that what was
I
written,
didn't get your copy.
wow.
I just found.
He was he was Township a lot of time, a lot of service, and he was past people,
All the awards that the people got.
which that's sad to hear.
Lucas.
But, so all I did there, see the packet, all I did was put a cover over that, and the resolution, so it had a number. So the resolution, because the paperwork that I saw, didn't have a number on it.
Well, I did.
So I just gave a little short top on top of that, and
Luca.
they had the attachment, and just that way we legally have
If you
it.
read my
The
thing,
resolution has
it
to
says a complete and detailed list.
Right.
That's what it asks for.
And then the next one is kind of between me and you, Tracy.
That's all I had right
When
here.
I've worked for different people in the past, I have PO
This
books.
is not such
Is it possible to
This is not-
have to get a PO book for
Wolf
the
in.
department? For the supervisor?
I'll get a hold of the
Some
trustees,
other kind of
because they are,
system.
trustees are the ones. That's not right. I mean, this is good.
Can,
you guys take it outside?
Excuse me.
Hey, can you take that out in the hallway, please?
Your voice is carrying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can print out POs and then they can make a book, is that what you mean?
We'll come up with something. Just, there's only be one person purchasing. And, we'll get something set up. A little easier to do. Does that have so many hands involved in it?
No, I mean, I can like I give you the monthly reports, I can give you a PO report. Like
Okay.
that. Then you can do what you know what you wanna do with it.
Okay.
And then you'd have a book, you mean, if you wanna put in a book. The fire department does spreadsheets.
I want to do that too. I want to talk to them about that, and because there's nothing more to make, I know how to do Excel, make an Excel, all it is an Excel spreadsheet, right guys? For your POs, so when you buy something, you put it in there and it subtracts it automatically, you get a running total. Yeah, I'm gonna get that for the road department. Okay,
So were you also thinking about, you know, the packet that I showed you as far as the log, daily log?
oh, yes,
for the
yes,
road department?
yes, that's a must, yes. And the last one, I have a question, this last one, this is on paper here, Tracy, nuisance properties and procedures. There was some communication about a house on Germantown, up the street from me, and I went and looked at it, and it definitely needs some attention. I think I've seen it in the past. Do we have a list of the people that were on the nuisance list last year? Is there a way to get a hold of that? So what I'm kind of getting at is, I have a hard time believing this piece of property was given nuisance paperwork last year and is in the condition it's in, because it needs to be cleaned up, you got windows missing out, the people who have gone in there, it's.
So everything that was involved in code enforcement and zoning never came to me. It stayed in that office. I never was involved, so when they wrote, when that
Okay,
list was done, the only thing I would do was take the resolution when I submitted the, lighting district, and I would submit it. Any questions that, the lady had, they would go back to either Tony McKee or Justin. And they would answer the question, because I had no clue.
but you do have, so you did give the county a list of properties that we had nuisance money on.
That was
That was
given to me
Yes.
from the zoning. And
Since neither one of those two guys are here anymore, can I get a copy of that list?
the last one, I mean, one year we did a lot of back ones too. I'm not sure what the final thing was, but I can give you what I sent to them.
Okay.
In fact, it's probably a
Well-
resolution.
Going forward, I've had the feeling that in years past, it's just been a copy and paste. And we kept doing the same properties over and over again, and we need to reach out and do properties that have been neglected. And I'm kind of wondering if this one, I want to do a little research, has this been neglected? So then do we know who the owner is? Have we contacted this owner before, or have we not? And, because the front door is gone. And,
There's a lot of properties like that.
yes, yeah, so, but that's what I'm talking about the nuisance, so start boarding properties up, and the backyard on this one hasn't been touched in, I don't know how long, there's, you know, saplings, 2-3 inches in diameter. We own a bush hog. We take our tractor up there, and you go in and you mow the backyard down with a bush hog, it's doable. We have the equipment to make that a lot nicer. That keeps the rodents out of there, it makes the neighbors happier, there's houses on both sides, you know, and like the one there on Derby with that backyard, we gotta clean that stuff up.
There's
So-
a house right here on, Dayton Liberty, right after you pass Old Road Extension, on the right-hand side. If you look up, it looked like somebody took and shook out the inside of the house in the front yard. It's trash and just everywhere.
Okay.
And it's been like that
Well, that,
since,
I think organizing that information, Tracy and Sheila, if we organize that information, okay, so that's, in that condition, has that person made contact last year? It gives you an argument, it gives you a place to start this year.
Right.
You know,
So
I
I
kinda
know
wanna
that
know that.
all of these property, all the nuisance property, that's all the most I can tell you. All the nuisance property were given in a list and brought to the trustees in a resolution. So we should have all those resolutions.
I believe,
So,
so
it-
correct me if I'm wrong, they brought a list, I don't know if you remember when the gentleman came and, he was disputing having his house torn down. His name,
Yes,
his house was
it's on
torn
off Third Street.
well, during that meeting, they had a list of all the houses that were nuisance properties. During that meeting,
That
Those
was just
just being
those,
houses
those were
being
just
torn down.
those were just those that were being proposed to be.
so it was about 4 or 5 because they were gonna put
20-something.
50,
It was-
Aldrin,
It was 20-something.
was it 20?
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So is that list available?
That list is available, but those aren't even tore down, those are proposed.
Right.
You're talking about ones that we got, that have.
They're not to that
given-
state.
that
Yeah,
we
they're
given.
not on that list,
Right.
they're in the township, and
And
they're
you
in
don't
bad
know.
shape. And to get the lot cleaned up, if you clean the lot up and board the house up, you're gonna you're gonna keep it from getting worse and worse and worse.
But you were asking me, have we ever put those on a nuisance list, and you wanna
That-
see the nuisance?
I just wanna see a nuisance list so I know where to start
Okay.
and
I
communicate
can,
with.
like I said, I can compile, go through and find all the resolutions, but as far as a list of how they compile, that was all done
I'm not
separate
asking
from me.
I'm not asking you how it was done, I just want a list of properties that we
Well, I'm
had
just saying.
communicated with before we
Yeah.
given a bill to.
Okay, so, again, I just took what they gave me from
Yes.
the zoning, and once you guys approved the resolution, I just forwarded on. I didn't do anything, I didn't keep it compiled,
That's fine.
so I can give you those resolutions in the past.
So the information that we sent to the land bank, were some of those, all of those were on the list? Remember you sent something to us, her name's Susan?
Yeah, that's a different list, but when we're talking about go to the county, that one goes to the land bank.
Okay,
Those
okay,
are different lists, two different lists.
okay.
County that we're collecting money from those nuisance properties. We say your yard wasn't, we came and cleaned it up, we would put it on your property tax.
Right, I know
But the
that,
nuisance property, land bank would take care of those.
Yeah, back up just a minute there.
Uh,
Before you put it on, don't you send
Yeah,
the land?
that's, yeah,
I
that
mean, you
was
send
skipping.
the landowner a chance. the chance
Right,
to
I was
pay, but you do-
skipping those steps.
Okay, so I just
Yeah,
clarify,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
so with that being said, well, I don't wanna go off, I was gonna just talk about, potential contractors. As far as, because the road department, well, we have one full-time and the other one, 2 part-time, right?
Yeah, but if we use the bush hog, we use the equipment we had, we will get more done than we got last year in the same amount of time.
Oh, well, I don't know. I've been getting emails and calls and texts and messages about people's property and the property next to them.
Would you please give them my number?
most of them I did, but some of them I hadn't even got to yet with. So, but I did send the
I don't
email.
want you to feel overwhelmed by that, if that's my department.
Oh, no doubt, I've been sending it, it's just that every day, a couple of times a day, I'm getting somebody to call me. That's why I sent that email about scheduling a special meeting, because, even though we don't have a zoning or code enforcement, as trustees, and I know you are aware of this, but we have to pick up the ball and run with it. We can't just let it sit there until we hire somebody else to come in. But the contractors was to be able to help, with that.
Well, and that's why I'm asking about the list. So is this, like the property there on Germantown I had communication about, is this a place that we have communicated with before? Or is it a place that we never know, everybody's completely overlooked? It just helps, because we have got to come up with a list of houses, a scope of work, this house needs this, that, you know. You can't, we gotta give a contractor, if we give us work out, you gotta give them scope of work. So that's gonna take time just to generate that.
Is there a way to look through, like, cause we have to pay for like any fines or anything that, say Justin, or is there a way to search through that to see what some of the addresses are? Or maybe even contact the county and see if they have that information? Not so much you, but just,
No, I mean, we have resolutions that the trustees approved that have all that in there, we just have to find the resolution. The thing is, like he's saying, I hear what he's saying, we have to we can't have a contractor do a property until we've gone through the process.
right.
So Tony McKee, before he was off a year ago,
Right.
he has started processes on a lot of them and sent them to the newspaper, because I probably even have, it was a daily court reporter, probably even have all the list of those. I can pull up all those bills on the daily court reporter that list all those as well. Those probably haven't even been put on a resolution to go to the county yet. So besides that last list, there's probably a whole bunch more that haven't even been put on a resolution to go to the county.
But it's a start, and at least we have a start, and we can go from there.
Yes, we've gotta do something, we've gotta get started, we move on.
Mike,
Yes,
you talking about these properties?
yes. Can we do what you did in Farmersville? I can match.
If you get with me,
Yes,
I'll show you how to take care of this.
okay,
Nobody's asked me.
okay.
There's 112 properties that's been looked at, and things need to be done. There's 12 properties that need to be torn down. One of them is a 2-story here on West 3rd Street.
Oh, behind the Rivers Town.
There's vagrants that's living in there, and I've asked the sheriff's department if they'll give me a deputy or two, and we're gonna go in there. Because you don't know what you're walking into.
We have to share it with you.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna go up in smoke sometime, but
Put that on our list. Everything outside of this. Okay,
I think during our discussion on the 12th, we'll be able to kind of address that, because that kind of was a whole lot, it also
Speaking
included
of
some.
the 12, I know I accepted that, but you know, did you accept that engineer's dinner that night? You know, we have a dinner invitation that night, you didn't get an invitation to that? Oh, all trustees are supposed to get one that night.
I'm not sure if I
The
did.
engineers club?
It's
Yeah,
not on my
Yes, you did.
computer.
yeah.
We did.
Well, I guess we'll have
Because
to.
I accepted that and then realized, I accepted your thing, and then, whoops, I already accepted a previous, event for that same evening. And that was that free food. We feasted my belly.
You know, because we said we submitted it to them. That's what we kind of did.
See, you know, he's not a baby. just say annual township dinner?
And then from, what's that
County
engineer?
engineer, it's a
Yeah.
county engineer.
And that's been 2 months ago, that's been a while ago.
Well, we can change it, I just needed to get it down so that we can sit down and talk about
Yes.
this, because it is every day, like I said, I'm getting phone call after phone call, late at night, people are calling, complaining. A man sent an email, I got 2 emails today. And so we need to at least start to address these things so that people know that we're working on it.
Yes.
We're working on it.
So do you need that list before that meeting?
If it's possible, I mean, I don't know how much time it's gonna take you to get it, but yes.
I mean, I could pull budget resolution, I might have to pull the list together,
Before what meeting?
with whatever meeting.
We don't have to reschedule it, and
Whatever day you schedule, you need it for that meeting.
we can schedule it for that, and in addition, if you want to schedule to sit down and talk about, what we wanna use that money for.
On the next night,
And we could do
Wednesday,
it,
yeah.
yeah, we could do that,
Next Wednesday.
yeah.
Changing the schedule, what you doing that night? You
Okay.
do that night? Next-
Yeah, I can do that, I just need to,
Have you posted
know
that
the exact date. No, I haven't posted anything yet, I was
Okay.
waiting on trustees to get back with me to confirm that it was
Thank
a
you,
good day.
thank you, I appreciate that, because my first suggestion is next night, so we'll do it as soon as we can.
Right,
So a week from tomorrow, let's do that, so a week from tonight I have the meeting. Please. Okay.
I'll look at it and then,
Emails.
send out an invite.
We got a few minutes, anything more nuisance, I got one more thing to talk about. So, I've had several phone calls and communications on, we as a township own some farmland, right across the entrance to Arthur Fisher Park. And, there was a for sale sign and some land changed hands. And I just want it all be known, that guy is not on our property. I went and spoke to the gentleman. He showed me a survey stakes. Before he purchased that 5 acres, he had it surveyed. And his survey marks reflect the picture that I have of that map from the county. So, I mean, I might even take nothing to go up there with my little wheel and measure it off. But what has been tilled, what is planted, what was grown in crops for years and years was part of his 5 acres. So there's a little bit of woods between him and that housing development behind the daycare. He owns a little bit of those woods, and over half of his 5 acre field, I'd say a good 3 acres, about 3.5 acres of it is part of that farmland. So, I just want to verify that, and I've had some communications on that, and looked into it, and, I will dig a little bit deeper into it, but, it seems like everything is up front, and everything's being done is done legal. So, just want to clarify that. Any questions?
You gotta ask me, I don't know if we should talk about, but if the contract is over and you don't wanna agree to do, reduce that price because of that area.
This contract's not over,
When's it over with?
this, end of this year.
That's what I'm saying, so you wouldn't, his contract is for that price till his contract is over.
Correct.
So another way you would reduce the price is when he does a new contract.
Correct.
So if you don't give him a new contract, you don't have to worry about it.
I thought it in my head too, but that's part of my conversation.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Anything else?
But you were saying, were you saying that, the individual that's leasing it wants, to be reimbursed some money?
He thinks that he's farming less land
Right,
and should be reimbursed. I would investigate what exactly he's paying being leased and what he's leasing and all that and check into that.
okay, yeah, because he had to sign in the contract how much
But
land he was
I asked
losing.
Tracy for a copy of the contract, how many acres he's paying for.
He hasn't paid for it this year anyway.
That's on site, it's,
Mhm.
we don't need to discuss that meeting. Anything else? Motion to adjourn,
Second.
and we were adjourned at 6:55.
Hello? That's good. I was gonna say morning.
Okay.